Hello, hello, hello. Oh man. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, and welcome to Adventures of Deanna and the ABCs of Weight Loss. This week we are talking about the letter O. I hope you guys don't get sick of that little intro there. Gives me just a little bit of extra time just to make sure that everything's set up. It gives people a minute to get into the video, the live stream, and join us. So I think it's fun and nice little upbeat music. So I hope you're not getting tired of it. If you are, let me know and maybe I'll get rid of it. Who knows? But welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today for the ABCs of weight loss. As I said, we are talking about the letter O today, words that begin with the letter O. And as we always do, I would really appreciate it if you would type in your guesses in the chat box. What words or word do you think that we're going to be talking about today? Let's start with the letter O. Always fun, 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 fun. It has been a crazy busy weekend. Like, did the weekend even really exist? Because it was crazy busy. It was go, go, go every day, all day. Just insanity. Just insanity. And we're almost to the end of the month of January. Almost to the end of the month of January. And in February, in the month of February, I like to change the time of the live stream. So I know you guys just got used to us having the live streams on Sundays at 4 p.m., but I like to move it around so that other people can join in. Maybe this time doesn't work for them. So I just kind of want to spread the love out so that they can be here live and join us. So in the month of February, we are going to still be on Sundays, but we're going to be early, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for the month of February on Sundays. So let me take a look at these guesses that we got here. We've got optimistic, ooh, obstacles, opinions, observe, ooh, good one, opportunity, outside our comfort zone. I like that you took some liberties with that one. That's a good one. Outside your comfort zone. Optimal. Wow, you guys are awesome with these words. You guys were like reading the dictionary or something, coming up with all these great O words. You're getting into it now. I'm loving it. Thank you. Oh my God, that just means a lot to me. Oh wow. So many great words. So many great words to talk about. The word that I originally had decided on, that's in my little notes app that, whenever I'm thinking about it, the word that I chose was obstacles. Yeah, because like I did last week with non-scale victory, like it's not just one word. So outside comfort zone is not just one word, but it's a very great phrase. So it is a little bit liberties, but it's also a great word or phrase for sure. So obstacles. We all have obstacles that come up that slow down our weight loss progress or things that we have to navigate and figure out. And what kind of obstacles did you face like in the past week in your weight loss adventure? Because I'm always going to assume that you're here because you want to lose a couple pounds. I don't know why you'd be watching this if you don't, but I appreciate you either way. But obstacles, what kind of obstacles did you face in this past week? Let's just talk about our obstacles because we all have them. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to share your obstacles. I had house guests last night, and that presented an obstacle because my bedtime was not normal. I didn't get as much sleep as I normally get. I They didn't leave until like, a little later this afternoon, so that kind of changed my normal Sunday routine and when I would get my steps in and things like that. Also, the food was a little bit different, although not that much different because I have a little bit higher calorie meals on the weekends usually, so that wasn't as big of a deal as it could have been, but it definitely presented with some obstacles and some challenges that I had to face. Mental obstacles. So many mental obstacles. Like whenever you've got that little like voice in your head saying, but I don't wanna, but I don't wanna, but I don't wanna. And like I call it my toddler brain. I know a lot of people like to name that little voice in their head. Um, and I can't remember everybody's names for their different brains, that voice that they have inside their head. I wish I could remember it right now. Like I said, lack of sleep. But yeah, that little, my crazy brain, Pete, said Misty. Um, so yeah, we've got these little voices in our head. We've got these mental obstacles whenever we've got, crazy brain telling us to do stuff. You did all those things. I mean, pat on back for doing so much yesterday, Misty. Oh my God. Rick being in the hospital and binge eating because of stress and worry and all kinds of things, I'm sure that's, a go-to coping mechanism that we've learned over time. And it's a hard habit to break whenever that's a coping mechanism that we've always relied upon. It's really hard to not do that whenever we come up with situations that lead us to that. And the one thing is that what we can really do with that is just to be aware and start to practice different habits that we can get into, different ways that we can kind of control that. And the thing there is that it's a practice, it's not something that we can just solve overnight. And especially whenever these circumstances don't come up all the time. Whenever we have, really hardships in our life and we go to those, how many times do we actually get to practice replacing those habits with new habits? It's not that often. So if we don't automatically go to our replacement habit instead of, running to food to comfort us, we can't be too hard on ourselves. We can't be that critical of ourselves for something that is, so ingrained in us that we've been practicing for years and years and years and years and years. For sure. For sure. Obstacles. We all are going to have obstacles. And that's the thing. I try to think of what my obstacles are going to be. And a lot of times we have spur of the moment obstacles that come up and catch us off guard, and there's not much to do about it. But a lot of the times we have obstacles that we know are going to happen. We know because really we're kind of creatures of habit, and our routines are pretty much the same all the time. So you might know if a birthday is coming up, that might be an obstacle. You might know if a work function is coming up, that's going to be an obstacle. I knew like this past week was going to be a very stressful week for me at work. We had this huge conference. It's normally we do it in person. Up until 2 weeks ago, we were still planning to have it in person. And I'm kind of like the point person that does all the coordinating with the hotel and the vendors and all of the things. And I help put together the program and the speakers and all of this stuff. And so there's a lot of stress on me going up to the event in order to prepare for it. And then also at the event itself. And then so much socializing and just downright exhaustion from the event. This year it got canceled at the last minute. So we had to do a lot of changing of what we were going to do. But I knew that there were going to be obstacles with this already. And I knew that because of past years, because I've been on my weight loss journey for over 2 years now, I've learned from past mistakes. That's one of the great things, is that those mistakes actually turned into another O word, opportunities to learn. So I was able to learn from my past mistakes about what I can do and how important sleep was, how important that stress reduction was, how important different things were for me, how important it was to learn to delegate things at work because I just don't need to have to take all that stuff on myself. But I knew that there was going to be obstacles coming up, but then they threw me some unexpected obstacles that I didn't even know about. And I've really learned how to, take those obstacles and just be like, okay, this is a feeling. I'm feeling like overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed. I am feeling a lot of things. And I just need to sit with this feeling for a minute and just breathe in the flowers, smell in the flowers, and blow out the candles. Like just my little breathing exercises that I do to kind of center myself, to get myself back, you know, to square one, to remind myself that food is not the option, the answer here, that is not going to solve, it's not going to take away the stress of this particular moment, things like that. Hello, Kelsey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I wanted to welcome Cheryl and my pal Misty and anyone else who I forgot to welcome. I'm called Caitlin. I'm also very, very Cheryl. Um, so I'm very happy that you guys are here. We're talking about obstacles and how we're always going to be faced with obstacles. Obstacles are not going anywhere, and it's how we handle those obstacles that's really going to be the guiding factor. And also that if you don't handle an obstacle so well this time, just move on, be okay with it, and just think to yourself, what can I learn from this? What is something that I can do differently the next time? How could I handle this differently the next time? So that's a huge thing that I have learned is that I just think, okay, I'm not, super duper excited about, whatever happened, but what can I do differently the next time? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I still have this stupid cough from this stupid thing. Not happy about it. Not at all. All right. So, obstacles. I like to, at the beginning of the week, I go through like, oh my God, my friend LB at Pine Trees and Stars. If you're not checking out her channel, check it out. Pine Tree and Stars. She does a weekly live stream on Sundays at 8 p.m. where she goes through her planner and she goes through the week and she looks through the stuff that she's got to do. She's taking that time to look at what obstacles might she be faced that with that week. Like she's got a busy schedule. She's got kids she's got to run around. She's got all kinds of things she's got to do. So she takes a look at what her obstacles are going to be and she tries to plan for those obstacles earlier in the week. But if we're just going through and we're not, you know, taking a few minutes to take stock and think, what are the obstacles that I'm going to face this week and what can I do about them? So, like, I don't know how many people are out there watching football at the same time that they're watching this right now. There's some big games going on today. People might be watching some football. People might be hanging out with friends watching football. Is that going to be an obstacle to your weight loss journey? I'm so sorry. I have a tickle in my throat. So, football games could be an obstacle because I don't know about you, but whenever I get together with friends to watch a football game, it's like appetizer smorgasbord, and there's like chips and dips and like 17 different kinds of chips and dips and meatballs and fatty food and fried food and everything. And I'm just like looking at all the food like, okay, I can handle this. I got this. But I also know that a lot of those things are routine, tradition, habit. You know what's going to be there, so you can make a plan ahead of time. I know some people say, well, eat before you go. That's never been a strategy that's worked for me. So know yourself. Look at yourself and say, okay, what strategies have I tried in the past? Did they work? And do I need to change something this time? Happy early birthday, Miss Caitlin. Yay. That is awesome. So much easier when you watch it alone, for sure. For sure. Work becomes an obstacle. So hard to move around when you have to be at your desk to work. Yes. Yes. And unfortunately, Misty, you're the one that has to always like I use meetings and I don't always have to be on camera. So I like to use my meetings as times to just get up and step and at my desk and move around a little bit. But I know whenever you're the one that's actually like presenting the meeting, it's not always doable to do those kind of things. We are going through a huge renovation at work. So I'm working from home full time right now, but once they finish the renovation, it's scheduled to be done February 10th. I'm going to be expected to go back into the office like either 2 or 3 days a week. And that's going to be an obstacle because I've gotten really, really spoiled with working from home and I don't have a commute time. I can make my lunch like fresh at lunchtime and I don't have to worry about, meal prepping my lunch. I don't have to worry about choosing healthy. It's all right here in my house and it's all convenient and fun and good. So that's going to be an obstacle that I'm going to need to prepare for and that I've been mentally preparing for. But we need to take look at our obstacles and the thing is that we might not have all the answers. And that's okay that we don't have all the answers. That's why we are participating in this weight loss community. That's why we have all of these great friends that are here chatting today in the chat box. All the people who comment on my videos. We have all of these great friends that we can reach out to and we can go to for support and ideas and encouragement. Again, I want to apologize for coughing. Um, yeah, so as I was saying, don't be shy. Reach out to people. If you feel like, you've been banging your head and the same obstacle keeps tripping you up time and time again, and you want to overcome it. Oh, overcome. That's an O word. If you want to overcome it, don't forget to ask for help, because we don't all have all the ideas and answers. And maybe somebody has a different perspective and they can help you get through that particular obstacle that you're facing. We're not alone in this. That's why we're all here. So, obstacles. This week, big obstacles. For me, it should be a pretty chill week. So, I'm looking forward to a pretty chill week because it was a very, very busy, busy week for me. Ooh. Thinking about getting up a stand-up desk. I've been thinking about getting a stand-up desk, but I just got my new desk that's here and I'm afraid to spend the money. But I've been thinking about it. It would be interesting. I know a few people that have stand-up desks. My friend, she has a channel. Her name is Andrea's Journey. She has a little like stand-up desk that she made on her treadmill that she uses whenever she's at work. Really cool. Oh, did I miss something? Kale chips. Still can't like kale chips. I keep trying them and I don't like them. Don't like them. What if you sat on a workout ball and you can do exercises on that while working on the desk? I could probably do that. That's a good idea. See? See how awesome we are? All helping each other out. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it. Hello, Sharia. Welcome. So glad that you are here. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about words that begin with the letter O today. And we were talking about obstacles. And, we're all going to have them. And if, you face an obstacle and you don't do a great job, the main thing there is, just what can you take away from it? Don't beat yourself up over it. It happens. A lot of the times, we're just reacting and we need to relearn how to react. And sometimes, it's just a knee jerk reaction and it happens so fast, but you just think, what can I do differently the next time? And hopefully the next time you'll get better at it. You'll get better at not always handling those obstacles in a way that isn't in line with your goals. I'm running out of space. Like, if I got an exercise, I don't know what I would do with an exercise. You guys, such influencers, all of you. Getting me to do weird things. Helps my back. Okay. So, obstacles are also the other word, O. They're opportunities for us to learn, for us to grow, and for us to get out of our comfort zone. Out of our comfort zone. So, they all tie together. I love how they all tie together all the time. It's so much fun. Wordplay is fun. Love it. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. It's an opportunity to get outside of your comfort zone. So I've had to practice getting out of my comfort zone a lot within my weight loss journey, because whenever I started the No BS weight loss program, which is the way that I just, started my weight loss, I no longer pay for the No BS weight loss program, but I still follow the principles that I learned within it, which is I eat whenever I'm hungry and I stop whenever I'm satisfied. I cannot tell you how many times I am presented with food and I am not hungry. Do you? And I would always just eat because the food is there. It was offered to me because it was time, because of so many different reasons, just because, hey, there's food, so I should eat. Sitting with food in front of you while other people are eating or whatever, can be slightly uncomfortable whenever you've just always done it because other people are eating, so I should be eating too. It's a little bit outside of your comfort zone. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but you learn that it's okay to be uncomfortable. And then you actually get over it, and then you're not uncomfortable anymore. And it's something that you can just do. You can just sit there and watch people eat and not be like feeling any kind of way like, oh my God, why can't I eat that? Or why am I always got to be on a diet? Or how come I can't eat the things that they can eat? It's like, well, I can eat whatever, for me, I can eat whatever I want to as long as I'm hungry. So it's not a big deal that I'm not eating because I'm not hungry. My body doesn't need food. So I don't need to eat. But it took me some time to get out of my comfort zone in order to do that. Speaking of ways that I've had to get out of my comfort zone, oh my gosh, last year, whenever I did yoga, that was so far outside of my comfort zone. Like doing these different exercises, trying to move my body in ways that it had never moved before. Then I'm starting to do these like strength training exercises. That's completely out of my comfort zone. I used to always grumble and um, bitch and complain and whatever about strength exercises. But the more I get out of my comfort zone, the more that I practice doing these exercises, the more that I do these activities, I find that they're not terrible. And I actually have learned to kind of enjoy them and I like them and I look forward to them. And it's crazy and it's weird. But if I wasn't willing to get outside of my comfort zone to at least try to do these things, I never would have learned that. I never would have learned that I can actually find joy. I was just always operating from a place of fear and sadness and hurt. And I didn't want to do those exercises because those exercises reminded me of the time whenever I was like in high school and in gym class and people made fun of me, or I always felt like people were laughing at me or whatever. And I created this limiting belief about these exercises based on some past trauma that I had. And then I didn't want to be open to giving it a try. But once I was open to getting out of my comfort zone, giving these things a try, trying them out, practicing them, giving myself patience and compassion and love to practice those exercises in order to get good at them, then I could start to really find the joy and the happiness that they can give me. And how like working towards these goals of doing these exercises better or for longer or faster or whatever just gives me pride and joy the same way that whenever you lose weight, you get a little bit of pride and joy. But I actually like the pride and joy that I get from increasing my, my strength and my stamina and my speed. I enjoy that a little bit more. So that was my rant. Yeah, yoga was hard, hard, hard. I want to do it some more. I haven't given up on it because I do like it. I find that it's a good practice and I feel like it's very I love the stretching and I love the strength building that it does. And I love um the mind body connection with yoga because when you're doing the different exercises and you have to move in different ways that are weird to you, it's like brain building in a way type thing. So, out of our comfort zones, there are so many things that I want to do that are outside of my comfort zone. I want to do like paddle boarding and I want to do kayaking. They're two things that I've never done and I would love to do them, but they're outside of my comfort zone because I've never done them before. And I'm so worried about, oh my God, I'm going to try and get into this kayak and I'm going to fall over and everybody's going to laugh at me. It's going to be a whole thing. But it's something that I want to do. It's something that I'm going to do. Yeah, I feel like I need something to help me with my breathing too. I always feel like I have no idea when to breathe. It's just practice. It's just one of those things you got to learn. Might need a coach to help you, you know, along the way. That's the thing. We can't be afraid to ask for help whenever we're trying to do these things, whatever it is. Don't be afraid to ask for help because we don't know everything. And that might be something that's out of your comfort zone. So maybe the takeaway that we should have maybe for today is what is something that we can do in the month of February that's going to take us a little bit outside of our comfort zone? I want to let me know in the comments. Type yes if you have done something that's outside of your comfort zone and it made you feel good for doing it. Type yes if you have done something that was outside of your comfort zone and you felt good for choosing to do that. Yes, yes. So we got yeses. We got yeses. That's all we need. We got some yeses. So, yay. I can't get like 50 of them because there's only, 5 people here. So, but thank you all. Definitely. Definitely. Maybe there's a way that you have an obstacle and you might have to get out of your comfort zone in order to face that obstacle in a way that it's going to be in alignment with your goals. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Opposition. Am I acting in offense toward myself? Whew. That one's deep, isn't it? Have you ever done that? Have you ever acted in a way that's, an offense to yourself? I know that I have. I know that I've done that for sure. Did you not see my fancy pants yesterday? I saw your fancy pants. You look good in your fancy pants. So, what kind of things do we do that are an offense to ourselves? So, like, here's my confession. I'll say, I'm going to go out with friends and we're going to have a couple of drinks. And I like, say, okay, I'm only going to have 3 drinks because that's really, after I have the 3 drinks, then I start making bad decisions regarding food. So I like to have a limit on my drinks so I don't put myself in a position to make bad decisions around food. And then I don't stick to my limit goal that I set for myself. That's something that I do that's, not for myself. Another thing that I like to do is to make excuses about getting my workout in. Or a big one is with like food, it'll become like time for dinner and I've planned my dinner. I plan my food out every morning. Actually, I plan my food out on Fridays for the whole entire week. I'll write down these are the foods that I'm eating for the whole entire week. I go to the grocery store, I buy all those foods. I pretty much already know. I might change Monday's dinner to Tuesday or Tuesday's dinner to Wednesday or whatever, something like that. But I know pretty much what I'm going to be eating all week. But then it'll come time to make that meal and then I'll be like, oh, let's not have that. I don't want to do that. I'm too lazy. I want to, make something stupid that's not in line with my goals. Or, oh my God, I don't want to have to cut up those vegetables. So I'm just going to eat this food without the vegetables or something like that. So that's a way. And it's not like I'm really saving myself that much time. It's just, so I have to work through these things with telling myself these things because it's not working in, my future self's best interest. I'm not doing what's best for me. I'm stiff. Don't forget to stand up. Move your bodies. Don't just sit there. So that comes kind of to like our positive self-talk that we need to have. and talking to our crazy brain, my toddler brain that wants to throw a fit when it's dinner time, that you can't throw the fit. You're not winning here. I still catch myself telling myself I can't do something or I'm an idiot, even after years of practicing catching and reversing those thoughts. True, true story. Years and years and years of practicing catching and reversing those thoughts, and yet they still come up. So we just have to keep practicing catching and reversing those thoughts. I give too easily. I think we all do at some point in times. We all have our weaknesses where we give in too easily. And I just always tell myself, I'm just practicing this skill. I'm just practicing and I'm getting better. I'm getting better all the time. And it's actually true. I am getting better all the time. The things that I would give into 2 years ago, whenever I first started my weight loss journey, are not the same things that I give into today. There are a couple that are harder than others that, to do, but for the most part, I practice and I get better. So, there was a word that I don't think anybody mentioned this word, and there is a word that I wanted to talk about for a minute, and it's ownership. Ownership. We have to take ownership of our choices and our decisions that we make. And I know that I hear myself saying, but life got in the way, but it was too busy, but whatever, like yada, 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 excuse, justification, whatever. At the end of the day, we have to take ownership for the choices that we make. You need to own the choice that you made to lose weight and say that I chose this. I wanted this. Remember that day that I wrote down the reasons why I want to lose weight? And own those reasons. Because there's all these outside factors, but at the end of the day, it's up to nobody but you. You're the only one that can do this. That means we're going to have to get out of our comfort zone. That means we're going to have to try things that are, hard. But we have to take ownership and we have to do the thing, do the damn thing. That's what Misty said yesterday, I think. She said, do the damn thing. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Because and part of you wants to do it. Part of you is going to be really happy and proud. Part of you needs you to take that ownership and make that decision and have the louder, stronger voice. So, ownership. What did you own this week? Is there something that you really owned? Did you ever look at the scale and say, I own you? Or do you let that scale control you? Take ownership. Take ownership. If you set a step goal, take ownership that I set that goal. I'm going to hit that goal. I'm going to do what I can to get there. I might not actually, make it, but I'm going to do what I can to get there. And what other ways can we take ownership of what we're doing in our weight loss? What other ways do you think that we can take ownership? Hello, Alita. One way that you can take ownership, little self plug here, is by doing the Something is Greater Than Nothing Habit Tracker Challenge that we're doing for the month of February. Put the video out earlier today. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But by practicing healthy habits, by putting into place healthy habits, by trying to get better at those healthy habits, that's taking ownership. Taking ownership. One of the examples that I didn't put in the video today, I don't know if you guys are guilty of this, but I was watching somebody's video, she who shall not be named. But I was watching somebody's video today, and this person always lets their kitchen like build up, build up, build up. So there's like days and days and days of built up dishes in the kitchen. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever my kitchen is a mess, it's going to make it a lot harder for me to prepare a healthy meal. It's going to make it harder for me to even want to go in there. So maybe for a person who, has a messy kitchen, lets it build up day after day after day, and then does a, deep clean every 4 days, once a week, whatever it is, maybe a healthy habit for them is to make sure that they clean the kitchen every day, every night before they go to bed. Take care of it so that the next day, whenever you get up, you've got this clean, inviting environment that's going to be fun to prep food in, to cook, to do the things that you need to do. They're going to help you to be getting your goals. So that might be, a habit that you want to track. Did I make sure and tidy up the kitchen before I go to bed? There's small little environmental things. So everything is not always about, tracking our food and tracking our calories and measuring and weighing and grams and carbs and macros and all the things. There are things that are going on in our environment that we can build healthy habits around that are going to help us to be better versions of ourselves. So my closet is on the first floor of the house, and underneath my closet is like a crawl space, and there's not really good insulation. So right now, my closet, because there's no air ducts that get into the closet because the door is closed all the time, it's the coldest room in the house. It is freezing cold. I have no idea how cold it is, but I can tell you that I don't want to go into my closet to get clothes early in the morning whenever it's cold. I don't like doing it. But that's going to prevent me. If I don't have the right clothes to wear, if I don't have my tennis shoes available to me, if I don't have the things that I need, then I'm not going to set my day up for success by putting on my tennis shoes and going for a walk, getting my exercise in. So I need to set my clothes out. So maybe that's a habit that you want to do. But I need to own the fact that I know that that is a big excuse that I have and make plans to solve for it. Just, yeah, that's my weakness. Well, hello, Mike. Thanks for staying or stopping by. I do the clean sink thing. I don't even remember what it's called now, so not very helpful, but it's helped me not mind cooking so much. Yep. It makes all of the difference in the world. It's finding these small little things that are going to help you out. Finding these small little things. Just going to make your day easier. I don't know what the clean sink thing is either. Somebody Google it. What's the clean sink thing? I'm so curious now. I feel like I can't concentrate on anything else. I own that sometimes I won't do things unless someone comes with me. Yes, that is, yep, guilty. Guilty of that one? So if you're somebody who won't do things unless someone comes with you, it's important to work on building your tribe, building your friend group, so that if one friend bails on you, you have another friend that you can count on to help you out. And that's one of those things where you have to get out of your comfort zone, because I know it's not always easy to make friends and to get friends. I have a few different meetup groups that I am part of so that I can, go out and meet friends that are doing more active things, because I really like to go out and do active things, but my husband doesn't. And a lot of the things I'm not going to do them alone. So I have to get out of my comfort zone so that I can go in and enjoy these things, because he's not going to go with me. Keep looking, keep looking. So ownership, ownership. I own that I struggle asking for help. I'm a people pleaser, but sometimes I need help. So I started asking, and things are changing. Yes, I struggle with asking for help as well. I struggle to speak up for my needs and my wants. Like, I live in this, in this marriage, and me and my husband, we don't do the whole separate meal thing. We both eat the exact same things. But I have to speak up for what I need and for what I want in order to get my needs met. Or I need to be like, well, you can eat that, but I'm going to eat this. So either way, I got to I got to own that. Or I got to speak up, and I got to tell, and I got to say, no, not today. That doesn't really work for me. Yep. Says that shining your sink and making sure it is clean every night before you go to bed helps make your kitchen a happier place. And oh. So, along the lines of that, if you're a person that is like a snacker, one habit that is good to do is to close your kitchen. So there's just sometimes a lot of people like to just mindlessly snack at night. They just get a craving and an urge to snack, and they just go to snack. But maybe that's something that's not helping you to lose weight, and it's something that you don't want to do anymore. And if it is something that you don't want to do anymore, get a closed kitchen sign. After you make your dinner, clean it all up, and then you put out your closed kitchen sign. The kitchen is closed. And it just reminds you, hey, I made this decision that I don't want to do this nighttime snacking anymore. It's not helping me. It's not beneficial. It's not helping me to sleep good. It's not helping me do XYZ if those are the things that apply to you. Kitchen is closed. Practice closing the kitchen down. So, just an idea. And I just like to throw out different ideas, and you know, not all ideas are going to work for everyone, but I just like to throw out different ideas so that, if something sounds like a good idea, it's something that you can do. But I want you, anything that I say, I want you to do it because you think it's going to work for you, not because, you think that's, anything that I say is, the gospel or something like that. I'm just throwing out ideas because I want to help you the best way that I can. And sometimes there's things that we hear, we see other people do that we don't always think of. So I just want to, throw out ideas if they're out there as a reminder to you, if you've never heard it before or whatever, but take what you want and leave what you don't. Because everybody's got to do this for you, the way that's going to work for your lifestyle, the way that's going to work for your personality. And we're all different, and we all do things differently. So my mom used to close the kitchen, so I got really good at ninja sneaking snacks. See? And here's the flip side. Here's a different perspective to it. So for some people, Closing the kitchen is not going to be a good idea because it could lead to um, sneak eating, being a ninja, doing things like that. So it's not always going to be the best thing. You've got to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So if it's going to trigger something like that, secret eating, then maybe closing the kitchen isn't the greatest idea. But if you close the kitchen and you find yourself eating, I always like to ask myself, why am I eating this? Am I eating this because I'm hungry? Am I eating this because it's trying to fill an emotional void? Am I eating this because I'm bored? Am I eating because I need something else? And that helps, to really figure out what we're doing. Really helps to, kind of think about it. Sorry again. Sorry. So, those were the wonderful words. Oh my God, you guys came up with great words today. We had a lovely talk about obstacles. I hope you take a moment this afternoon to think about the obstacles that you might be facing this week and if you're going to put into place any strategies in order to overcome those obstacles. Oh, maybe we're going to get some real snow. I haven't had a real snow here yet, and I want a real snow, and just one. Just want one real snow. I'm going to, but we're going to have like ice and snow. So a huge obstacle that I'm going to have later in the week because we're going to have like freezing rain followed by snow is that it's going to be icy and I'm not going to be able to go outside for my walk because I will not walk on ice. I don't want to break anything. But that's going to be an obstacle. So I'm going to need to make sure that I've got exercises lined up to do so that I fill that normal exercise time with exercise versus making an excuse and saying, oh, it's too icy, so I'm just going to sit here and stare out the window for a half an hour. Because I've been known to do that. So yeah, hopefully we're going to get snow. Hopefully not too much ice because I really don't want, like power lines to go down because that would suck. So we're going to think about our obstacles. We're going to think about ways that we can get outside of our comfort zone because we just want to challenge ourselves just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's probably not going to be a terrible thing. It's probably not going to be terrible. So get out of our comfort zone and take ownership. Don't try to blame other people. Don't blame your coworkers for bringing in donuts. Don't blame your husband for bringing home cookies. Don't blame the dog for doing whatever the dog does. I don't know. Take ownership. Own your choices and your decisions. So, those are the big words for the week. I'm going to end this a little bit early this evening, but I hope you enjoyed our chat today. Again, next week, it's going to be February, and for the month of February, we're switching the time up, and now we're going to go to Sundays, but we're going to do it at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for the ABCs of weight loss. So I hope to see you guys there. As always, it's going to be an adventure for sure. And don't forget to check out my video on the Habit Tracker Challenge, and I hope to hear from you on that. Okay, so that's all we have for today. I appreciate you. I thank you for being here. I'll see you soon.